In this episode, we set up camp right behind the Hollywood sign. I think it's going to take a little bit of stealthiness to try to pull this one off. Let's see if we can do it. Hey, my name's Wes, and we're headed out for another solo overnight adventure. Today we are hiking up to the Hollywood sign and see if I can do somewhat of a stealth camp up there. Haven't done a real hike like this in quite a while. We're going to be going up 1,000 feet in elevation. Going to be some pretty narrow and steep trails. Definitely got to be careful on this one. In case you missed my last video, we are beginning a 10,000 mile up to 9-month road trip around the country. We're going to be camping in lots of cool spots, kayaking, exploring, going into abandoned buildings. And that meant that I had to try to pack everything that I was going to need for the next 9 months. And I think I pretty much remembered everything except for my hiking boots. So until I can ask a friend to mail those to me, we are rocking socks and sandals for hikes. And this is going to be a pretty intense one, but these are supposed to be off-road sandals, so we'll see. Wow, already such an incredible view up here. A lot of you probably know about the fires here in Southern California, and as of today, I'm happy to confirm that they are 100% contained. But as you can see, there's still a lot of smoke in the air. So I'm hoping this doesn't affect my breathing. Hoping this hike is still doable. We got a decent number of miles ahead of us, so let's go. The Hollywood sign was originally built back in 1923 and was only intended to be left up for a year and a half to advertise the housing development below it called Hollywoodland. And that's what the sign used to say, Hollywoodland. The sign became so iconic that it was left standing for over 25 years before windstorms began to take their toll. By the mid-1940s, the sign had deteriorated so much that the H was completely gone. It simply read Hollywoodland, and local residents were not happy. In 1949, the sign was rebuilt reading Hollywood, no longer Hollywoodland, and this time it lasted another 30 years before a windstorm struck again in 1978, leaving the sign severely damaged. The sign was soon rebuilt yet again, but this time completely out of metal. Each letter cost over $27,000, being sponsored by various members of the entertainment industry, including Hugh Hefner and Alice Cooper. This one has stood the test of time, standing to this very day with little maintenance required. We're arriving at the first milestone of this hike, and that's the wisdom tree. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the history is behind the tree, but I guess it's pretty wise because it's called the wisdom tree. Got a beautiful overlook here. As you can see, this sign is regularly maintained. This is flag number 20 as of October 2024. Well, I'd say these socks and sandals are doing pretty well so far. This is a good pit stop to sit down and have some electrolytes, man. I'm already really thirsty. So we came down here from the Bay Area. This is actually our first stop. We got here the day before the fires started. What timing. It's really tragic what happened, but I'm really thankful that the fires have finally been contained and hopefully people can start rebuilding and moving on from here. It was looking like this area wasn't going to be affected, but they still closed down all the trails as a precaution. And we took a detour down to San Diego, did a little adventure down there, and came back up here, and thankfully they opened back up the trails and can make this happen. This view is surreal. Well, we better keep it moving. I think if we keep a good pace here, we should make it to the sign by sunset. And that's perfect timing because we were kind of doing a little bit of a stealth camp here. I don't know how stealthy it's going to be, being right at the top of a peak, but we're going to do our best.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Could you take our picture?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you have a good eye, so.
I try. Do you happen to know, is there like some story behind the tree here? Like I know it's called the wisdom tree, but I'm not sure like why or...
I actually don't know, but that is the tree.
Okay.
Find some wisdom and then you could be like, it's actually true.
Yeah. Take care.
Yeah, take care. I will.
I was curious, so I did look it up. This entire hillside was actually burned in a 2007 fire, and the wisdom tree was the only tree left standing. I can see why they named it the wisdom tree. Oh, it's a little bit later than I thought. It's 5:15. We've got 15 minutes until sunset. Let's make it to the sign. It's starting to get a little chilly now. It's about 75 degrees and sunny today. But I'm expecting at the top of this peak it's going to be a little bit colder and windier. But I'm prepared, man. I brought everything I need. A good rule of thumb is that every 1,000 feet of elevation that you gain, I believe it's 3 to 4 degrees cooler. Not to mention how much windier it can be at the top of a peak. With that wind chill and cooler temperatures from elevation, you really got to pack an extra layer. Hey. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good hike.
Thanks. It's important when you're on hikes like these and you're passing other people to make eye contact, make sure they see you. If something were to happen, you want other people to know that you were up there. Of course, it's also good to share your route with friends and family. Keep them updated with your progress as you hike. Always want to be safe when you're doing adventures like these. Wow, I just realized I think we're level with the Hollywood sign right now. You can see the trail that we're following over there. And right behind that antenna, that's where the Hollywood sign should be. Still got quite a few people over there taking photos and stuff, so hopefully we'll be able to stealth camp there. A lot of people, when they think of LA, they might think everyone's pretentious and, you know, Hollywood types. But I found a lot of people are really down to earth and friendly here. Hi.
That is work a lot, right?
Yeah, it's a full body workout. Takes some of the pressure off your knees, though.
Look at mine, it's more beautiful than yours. I find this one.
That's good, it works.
But you will be there in the night, be careful.
I'll be careful.
There's just too many snakes in the road.
Okay, I'll keep my eyes out.
Ah.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 See, what did I tell you? People are a little concerned for me, just, you know, looking out for their fellow human being. It's super calm right now, like almost no wind. This is really remarkable. Initially looked like one of those geodetic survey markers, but it's got something else written on it for flood control. It's pretty cool. Here we go. Now we are at the summit. Would love to stop and hang out, but we gotta get there before it gets too dark. Look at this drop, man. This is like a 10-foot drop. It's like a real climb. Wow, this is cool, man. We are right at the top of this narrow little part of this peak. Some beautiful colors out there over the ocean. Oh, wow. There it is. And we made it. Got the Hollywood sign in front of us. That's the main part of LA down there. Behind us we got the San Fernando Valley. A lot of that is still considered Los Angeles, but you also got Glendale, Burbank, the city of San Fernando itself. And actually a lot of movies are filmed on this side rather than directly in Hollywood. That's the peak that we just came from. To make it easy, I picked up a burrito from a taco truck down there in the San Fernando Valley. I got goat birria from LA Authentica next to Target in North Hollywood. Gonna start off with the Fuji apple. If you're doing a super intense or long distance hike, you'd probably want dried fruit, as fresh fruit's rather heavy. It's around 75% water. This apple, for example, is about half a pound, but it really felt like a luxury having it at the top of this peak here. Now for the burrito. I could not even tell you how much I was looking forward to this after the hike to get up here. Birria is a process of marinating meat and tortillas in adobo sauce, most commonly goat or beef. While this process has been around since the 16th century in Jalisco, Mexico, it's become really popular in parts of the US in recent years. Usually birria tacos are the way to go, but I brought a burrito this time as tacos aren't very packable, but burritos are. This time I just brought one of my trusty little packets of Cholula. I went into some good detail about the road trip on my last video, but to kind of recap right now. On the trip I have my new little puppy Leo, as well as my mom and her little dog, who I call my fur brother, Preston. We are doing a 10,000 mile up to 9-month road trip around the country. We're about to start heading east through the desert in the southwest, making our way through the south over to Florida during the spring before it gets too hot, up the East Coast, New England, through the Midwest, along the Canadian border, and back down to the Bay Area. There are going to be a lot of adventures to come. Really so surreal being up here. Here in LA, almost everywhere you go it is busy, loud, but up here it is the total opposite. So peaceful, and yet you still feel like you're right in the middle of it all. I'm getting deja vu to when I was camping on that island back in New York City. That burrito was just what I needed after that hike. Went to Domino's the other night. They have this thing called the cookie brownie. It is so good. It is super rich and dense, the perfect backpacking dessert. I don't really have dessert all that often, but something about having it when you're going out hiking or camping, it's just really comforting. I brought 3 pieces thinking I was going to be ravenously hungry after that hike, which I was, but now I'm pretty good. I'm probably going to save this piece for in the morning after breakfast. Eventually I'll try to scout out a place to camp, but for now, I'm just going to lay low and enjoy this view. Yeah, I just saw a coyote. It did not really seem that afraid of me. Got my hiking sticks out, started clapping them together, and it seemed like it left, but anyways, it's about 8 o'clock now. I think I can start getting the tent set up. Hopefully I'll be able to sleep knowing that there are coyotes around. But that's nothing new. I've been camping in areas with coyotes before, but never actually seen them walk up so close like this, so that's new. So I was doing a little bit of scouting around the peak here, not using any lights, just trying to be kind of stealthy and looking for a spot to camp. Major point is that I'm trying to avoid all the cameras that are at this antenna station here. This antenna was built in the 1930s and was one of the earliest means of broadcasting television. Nowadays, LAPD, the fire department, and other city services still use this antenna. I was trying to find a spot where I'd be able to set up my tent out of sight, and I think I found just the spot right here behind this bush. Now I know it's dark, but I'm standing right where I plan on setting up the tent. And as you can see, I think this bush gives us just enough cover to hide from the cameras. I don't know if you could hear those coyotes, but that is pretty cool. Sounds like there's so many of them and making all those sounds. That's pretty wild, man. They were coming from down in front of the Hollywood sign, and now I'm hearing them back on the right side of me. All of a sudden a vehicle just rolled up on this access road here. There is some kind of official vehicle. Had to quickly duck behind this bush here. Hopefully they're just maintenance workers. I'm trying to really keep a low profile here. I think I'm just gonna have to stealthily set up the tent, not use any lights. Just crawl in for the night. Well, I got the tent set up. Still right behind these bushes here. It's not perfectly level, but it'll do. I got everything all set up. I'm lying here in bed. I am tired. I decided not to use the rainfly tonight. Just have a really neat city view on either side of me. Also, just in case we have some late night visitors, I definitely want to be able to see what's going on out there. So Well, I'm gonna try to get some sleep, and I'll see y'all in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Feels so good to wake up here. What an eventful night. I actually fell asleep pretty quickly after I laid down, probably like 10:30, but then I actually woke up at 2 in the morning hearing some kids yelling. I guess as high school kids, I think they were out trying to take pictures and, you know, having some fun. Not something I really care about, but kind of made it hard to sleep. However, LAPD took notice of them. I guess they were being too loud and using lights up here. They sent some kind of patrol car up here and was shining a flashlight directly on them on the hillside, yelling like, "You're trespassing, you need to leave or you'll be arrested. Oh, there's a mountain lion right nearby you, you need to be careful." Like, I don't know if that was a scare tactic to try to get them to leave, but that really kept me awake for a while. Not to mention just different weird noises around here. Saw the coyotes another couple times walking pretty close to the tent, but they didn't really bother me, so. But yeah, I was pretty wide awake from like 2 in the morning all the way until 4:30 when I was finally able to fall back asleep. But what a spot to sleep at. Just have this incredible sunrise here. View of the mountains, the clouds, the valley. It's all just so wonderful. But overall sleep rating, probably a 4 out of 10. Don't want to be here when hikers start showing up, and they're going to start showing up soon, so. You can see where I sit up here, kind of an angle, but not too bad. Nice and protected by these bushes. Really incredible spot though. Good morning. Still can't believe we're here. This is so cool. Well, I brought the tent right here in front of the view just to get a cheeky little intro and thumbnail, but I gotta get this packed away. Feels good getting this tent down. Those early morning hikers won't suspect a thing. Morning. So I'm gonna get us set up a little bit further away from this bench here. Have breakfast. Man, I'm hungry. Well, that was almost a little bit awkward. I don't know if you guys saw that guy, but I got the tent away just in time, but if I'd have to guess, I still think he knew what was up, but he just said hello. At this point, I got all my overnight gear put away. It's just a chair, table, and backpack. Hopefully no one would suspect a thing. So for breakfast, I brought another easy packable meal. Got a Perfect bar right here. If y'all don't know what these are, they're peanut butter protein bars. Come in a ton of flavors. They're super good. Not sponsored, I just love them. Brought some whey protein and some oats here. I'm just gonna throw some water in the shaker bottle and mix this up. Get some extra protein. And I swear this was green in the morning, but I brought a pear and it like over ripened in the bag. And of course we have that leftover cookie brownie from last night, so I think we'll be good for breakfast here. Man, it is warming up quickly here. What a beautiful morning. I'm gonna get this pear cut up here and try to just cut some of the bad looking parts off from the skin. I'm sure the inside is perfectly fine. All right, and this should slice up nicely now. Oh, I almost forgot to drink water when I first woke up. It's always really important because you wake up dehydrated every morning. All right, let's dig in. Cheers. I almost forgot. I brought some tahini. If you're not familiar with this, this is a really good chili seasoning. It's got some lime in there. You put it on fruit and it adds some good kick. If you've never tried it, it might sound a little bit weird, but it is really good. Oh, I love this. I don't know, I think this might be the coolest breakfast spot in LA. What do you think? Just super cool, the layers of hills and haze out there. Downtown LA popping up out there. Not to mention being right behind the Hollywood sign. This is really something else. I know some people don't like spending time in cities, but I like a nice balance of city and country. Like being in a city like this with some mountains, maybe some forests. You can still get out there and hike and get away from it all. But I gotta say, I'm looking forward to getting out into the desert. We're gonna be heading east, going through Arizona. I'm looking forward to getting back on the road. Starting to get a little bit cloudy and the wind's starting to pick up, so I better put this back on. Morning, how are you? I have this perfect bar here, some good plant protein. These things have over 300 calories in them. They're super dense and just a good packable food. A lot of times I like to do a lot of cooking in my videos, but this time just with the nature of this hike and this stealth camp, it was a good idea to bring some packable food, so just made it easy. Normally I always try to have my protein shakes with milk, but I forgot to pick up some of those little cartons that you can pack to go. Gonna have to have one with water. Another easy 400 calories. If I don't spill all of it. I gotta say that is not very tasty with water, but it'll give me some protein and I'll get some more carbs from the oats, so. Let's check out this area a little bit more in the daylight. We didn't really get to last night in the dark. You got the sign here. You also got this access road that goes up to the antenna. That's where some workers were showing up last night. Also early this morning, 3 of them showed up. You can see their vehicles right there. And that's when I had put my tent like right along the edge here. Pretty sure they could have seen that if they were paying attention, but I guess they didn't care. Oh, that's nice. I don't even have to pack out my trash. We got trash cans right here. Whatever this is some kind of weather station or something. You got these pretty looking red berries here. However, they are poisonous to dogs, maybe even humans too. Had a barber here in LA told me that their dog ate some of these and got really sick, so definitely be careful of these. The letters of the Hollywood sign, they might look kind of small from here, but they're almost 50 feet tall, made completely out of metal and have plenty of lighting. Maybe you can see why they were $27,000 each. You might have noticed how the top of this mountain is all flattened. That wasn't natural. Actually, Max Sennett, he was a 1920s silent movie star. He came up here and flattened this whole mountain in hopes of building an elaborate house, and just never worked out for him. I can only imagine if there was some giant mansion up here just overlooking all the valleys. That would be really something. Got a lot of filmmaking that happens down there. Just look how much it's cleared up right now. Like you can see a good 20 miles out there in the distance. Looking kind of overcast on this side though. On a clear day out that way, you'd be able to see the Pacific Ocean. And just look at all these homes here. Bet it'd be hard to find one for less than a few $1,000,000. What a cool spot to spend the night. Cool spot to wake up in the morning. I'm so excited for what's to come on this road trip. Hope you all are too. I'm gonna be putting out these videos as often as I can, venturing all over the place. If any of you have any cool spots you want me to check out, let me know. We're good to go. Well, until the next one.